Michael row the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael row the boat ashore. Well, is the chart going to row the profits to my shore? Come on, Saint Michael. Give us some. Let's have a look at the chart.
Wait. Matron, take them away. Oh.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I am the coffee obsessed Scruffy trader. And what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good and you're interested in trading, do hit that subscribe button. Genuinely helps and motivates me to carry on with the channel. And if you find value at any time in the video, hit the like button because it helps YouTube push this out to a wider audience. So with the self-promotion over, what are we doing? Well, I'm going to have a look at the Footsie today. Now the markets are, well, let's just say they're pretty wild at the moment. But they're wild because they're news driven. Now I don't like trading the news. I think trading is roughly 80-20. It's 80% technical, 20% fundamental. And when the fundamentals come into it, it becomes a crapshoot, you know, because what you think is good news is not necessarily what the market thinks and vice versa. But also, the markets are very good at manipulating things as well. So if they think that it's good news, they can throw the market going the other way because Joe Public will be going, well, hey, we're going to buy this. And they'll go, right, well, we'll sell it. And we'll sell it for the next hour or even a day, wipe you lot out, and then let it go on its merry joyful. It's a game of chess. Now, when you're doing longer term trading, swing trading, it's, well, you've got to have a wide stop and you've got to have a bigger thing. And it's pretty much 100% technical. Why is that? Well, because you can't tell me what's going to happen in 3 weeks. Nobody can. So you've just got to rely on what the chart tells you. Okay. Now, day trading is the same, except you do know the news is coming because you can look on your economic calendar. You can read the news hour by hour on a squawk box or a news feed. My advice in that situation is just stay out. Trade afterwards. You know, it's better to trade an aftermath than it is to trade the moment. Okay. It's two different ways of trading. Personally, I like day trading, and it pays me reasonably well because of one thing, just one. Yeah, I paused a bit there to give emphasis. Patience. Patience is your best friend. Now, it's very easy to dive into the market. It's very easy to just go click. But if you do your homework first, that's the last part of the puzzle. And my homework is always the same. You know, look what the economic calendar is. Is there anything in my way? No. Right, I've got a free day or free few hours. I can trade in that point. So it actually filters the time that I trade. Then I map my charts out correctly. So I know exactly where the pressure points are for reaction. You know, some people call it support and resistance, others call it area of interest. To me, they're just magnet points. They're just area that the price will naturally gravitate to. And like a magnet, it'll either stick to it or it'll repel from it. Okay. And that repel can either be a bounce off or throw it straight through. It doesn't want the price. Throw it away. And these are the reaction points we're looking for. Now, the Footsie is lining up quite well, and that's what we're going to trade. So let me show you. Now, I do run a small group. It's called the Scruffy Squad because I'm not exactly polished. And we have little chats every morning. Set it up so that we can have a Zoom face to face every morning. Here it is here. And we have a chat about the way we are, what we're trading, have a little pep talk, shall we call it. And it's just half an hour in the morning to get us ready for the markets. And then I take it kind of a step further because I believe that you should practice what you preach. And the only way I know how to do this is to tell them what I'm doing before I do it. Because it's very easy to say what I'm doing afterwards. So this morning, as we've been going through, you kind of see Footsy's telling me to wait, put a bias in. That's also all of the strengths so they can see what the state of the market is. And again, I've still been waiting. However, the signs are almost there. And what waiting means is I'm looking at 15-minute closes to see if there's any change. So I know it's ready. Now I'm just waiting for the optimum point. And that's what that is. Now, sometimes it changes to monitor. Now, when it changes to monitor, see if I've got one, give you an example from a couple of days ago where it's saying monitor. What that's telling me is it's coming. It's probably going to be in this hour. There's a high probability the trade will be in this hour. If it's wait, it's might be this hour, might be the next one. Okay, but at least you're calm and it stops you diving into the market. But I take that a step further as well, because that's just a heads up of what I'm looking at, really. But then what I'll do is I'll do a full breakdown of the trade that I'm going to do, why I'm going to do it, and roughly the areas I'm going to get in. Okay, because it's not pit perfect. Nobody's pit perfect. But it'll be, this is why the trade is in front of me. These are the reasons I'm going to take it. This is my area of interest. And then off we go. And then I trade in the moment, which is what I'm going to do now. So what we're doing is we're looking at the Footsie. I have a bias to the downside, so I'm quite happy with that. And I can see it. Now, a quick way of looking at biases and things like that, I do it through kind of a math equation, and I look at a couple of indicators as well, just so I can get a good idea of what's going on. And I use +1, -1 principles. And if you've never heard of that, it's just multi-time frame. Okay, so it's working my way through the time frames. Now, another way, you just have a standard sort of an RSI on, or stochastic or whatever, have a center line on, and it'll show you the volatility. You know, if it's underneath the 50, it's down. If it's above the 50, it's up. If it's in the extreme, be very careful. Simple filter. And the filter principle is how you survive in trading. Because that's what trading is. It's a series of filters. So you're filtering out all of the bad, and whatever's left has to be good. Well, it's my kind of take on it anyway. But you've also got to be able to read what's going on. So why is it short? If we push this out, we can see it's in kind of a loose range. Okay, can't deny that. What's going on? You can see on the higher time frame that this is coming onto the 50, and it's coming off the top of the range. Okay. The issue I have is this level. Okay. So let's push this out a little bit further, and again, you can see it's pushing up. There's your day, long tail to the top, red to the bottom on a daily candle, pushing down. So that again is telling you the pressure is coming down. Take this back to the hourly where we're looking at, and it's dancing on here. That's why I'm waiting. I want to see this get underneath there. Okay, then I'll be able to get in, get some money. Now I've already had some money because I dropped a video earlier on from a trade I held through the night, because of the big move that was on cable, and it paid me reasonably well. Now I only look for 200 quid a day, so I don't have much to do. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for a 10 pip target, maybe it's even 5 pips. Don't have to do a lot, but I still have to follow the process. So what I would do from this point, take it onto a 15-minute chart, And I can see, yes, that's down. Yes, this is pushing up. So if I'm looking for underneath this level, my entry point is probably about here somewhere, okay? Or as close to this level as I can get. Might even be on the level. But if it's breaking through and it's pushing up, I need a decent distance to get back to it. Okay, so there's no point entering here because it could just bounce off. All right, so that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for some free air that I think that I can get in without a roadblock. So I'll leave it running, but actually it's probably might be half an hour before I get in. So I'll stop the camera, but as I'm about to go into market, I'll put it back on. And you'll be able to see the trade get entered. The way I trade is I'll come down, but I'm prepared to average up backwards because trades do go against you quite regular, and I might want a better price. So not only will I trail the price, I'll stage it as well. And then that way I've got the best of both worlds and an opportunity to maybe grab some money before it even gets to target. Well, that one might scratch your head. Let me show you. Okay, guys, we're back. Paying a long old wait. It's currently 20 to 1. So patience is paying off. Right. So where are we up to in this little puzzle? Well, I haven't done anything since this morning. And the reason I haven't gone into the trade is because of this level. What happens is I want to have 10 pips between 2 points. Now, that was my last point of entry before it bashed onto this. I didn't have enough space, and I contemplated here. However, the criteria wasn't really very good because, as you can see, it was tipping over. And it could have quite easily have squeezed up to there, so I had to wait. And then when this one came, my order would have been there, which meant I had very little space to go. So now I have to sort of think, right, okay, now if I do a candle count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means my order is roughly underneath this candle. This one would have took me in. And I'm kind of humming and hawing what to do. If I come back to a 15-minute, the 15-minute hasn't quite closed yet. It's still got a few minutes left to go. So here is probably the safe area to place the trade, just there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the order there, and then I'm going to stage back up to the red line if I need to. Okay, so let me just drop an order in. Just like so. We're going to set it for 10 pips because I only really need a smallish trade to get over the 200 quid threshold. So drop that there. As you can see, that's pushing up. But because I've kind of set it here somewhat, it's kind of early to the party. However, because the 5-minute has closed underneath it and everything else tells me this is a good trade, everything's in line, I'm reasonably okay. And the fact this is about to shut. Okay, this is going to close very soon. Now, is this a bit naughty? Possibly. But we're only human. And I've got a few things I need to do on this side, and that's where pending order comes into place. Because you can just set and forget, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to set that there. Candle's going to shut just now. And I'll just watch it every 15 minutes. And then the idea is it comes, slams the order, gets me to my 10 pips, pays me, and then I'm done for the hour. And I'll actually be done for the day. So I'll leave that running and I'll catch you soon. Okay, boys and girls, job's done. I've had to tinker with it a little bit, as you've seen throughout the morning, and patience has paid off. And not only has it paid off, it's paid me. I'll put 2 entries in. First one triggered, it tickled about a little bit, seen it move up, and then I watched it come back and thought, well, why not? The thump's coming. And then it's come. That's me done. So I'm not going to be a hero. I'm not going to go to market anymore. Just going to relax. Spend time with Wandering Willie here. Seems to be away with the fairies.
What do you mean?
Well, you're not making the coffee.
Oh, you do this.
I am doing that. That's the problem. Right, boys and girls, I'll give you a little insight into our life. Right? My job here. Right? Her job over there. And if you looked at this little conversation we were having, every 2 minutes she's going, rat, 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 rat. How do I do this? Rat, 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 rat. Will you do? Rat, rat, rat. And I'm thinking to myself, is this my job or her job? When we're in the sweet shop, it used to be the same. Here, come and serve this. Why? I'm having a chat. Lovely. What have you got to say for yourself?
You're always mourning, aren't you?
See what I mean?
Mourn,
Straight in.
mourn.
Never mind more. If I'm doing that and helping you with your job, you help me with mine with the coffee. Or shall I go make it? And we all know what happens when I make it.
I'm good.
See that? That's the best way you can get out of trouble. I'm not allowed to decorate either. You think I make a mess in the kitchen, wait till you see my painting. Why I pay somebody. And that payment comes from what you've just seen. So anyway, so that was a quick trade. I was just backing up something I was saying earlier on. And can't be any fairer than that. So those guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, and above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all on the next one.